Welcome back, and joining us on the show now is Robert Piconi. He is Chairman and MD at the Energy Vault. Rob, thank you so much for joining us. You know, the way we are right now with the crude oil prices surging higher, markets talking about decarbonization and the fact that energy transition is a big buzzword, where would you see energy storage handle or stay on in the international markets?
Just on a global basis, first, we have expanded the company's portfolio and actually took the company public last year in 2022, given some of the commercial growth and the overall progress with our product set and our software. So we've been able to start last year with 146 million in revenue by serving customers across 3 continents. So we announced a lot of big projects last year. On the gravity side, in the shorter duration battery side, and even the green hydrogen side. So we announced the largest green hydrogen energy storage project with hybrid lithium ion as well for Pacific Gas and Electric in the state of California. So we've really, I think, advanced both the portfolio that resulted in a lot of customer announcements. And now this year, we're in active deployment mode. So we're turning over our first projects this year, over a gigawatt hour in the United States alone, and a lot of those happening just this second half of the year. So very excited now to move beyond just announcing deals all over the world, but actually deploying and turning up systems live to begin to help the environment.
Sure. And what are the kind of capacities, Rob, that you hold right now? Where does that data stand?
We've essentially announced bookings and projects that we're deploying this year of about a gigawatt hour. So we're actually in active deployment mode of 3 different projects just in the US alone. And then in terms of what we've announced in other project awards, almost 3 gigawatt hours across the globe. And that's in Australia, in China, and as well as in the United States on additional projects. So in those 3 continents of the world, we've got bookings over $3 billion. And if you put that in numbers, that's about, essentially about another $1 billion of business that's going to be underway that we're starting to deploy also into next year. And just a lot of growth and activity in new markets like South Africa and South America. And in addition, right here in India.
Rob, since you are in India, let's talk about the country then. And how is business growth here in India? Do tell us about your ongoing talks with NTPC. You also met Tata Power.
Well, on India, we see tremendous opportunity. It's obviously it's the most populous country in the world. It's going to have one of the largest power sectors, but not without challenges. Of course, that power demand, which stands at about 1,400 terawatt hours today, is growing well over 20% a year. So when you have that challenge you've got a greenhouse gas emission, therefore, that's very, very high. If you look at the power sector and look at overall GHGs in India, half of the greenhouse gas emissions come from the power sector. And that's because about 70% of the power sector is powered by coal. On the opportunity side of that, India has also been very active in deployment of renewables, been deploying at roughly about a 20% compound annual growth rate over the last year. So that's very good. But of course, if you're going to start turning off fossil fuel, you're going to need to address the intermittency of wind and solar, and you have to do that with storage. And the market opportunity for energy storage here is really massive, and one that if you look over the next 20 to 30 years, India has a target to get net carbon neutral by 2070. That implies that by 2040 you're looking at 200 gigawatts of energy storage alone, and even in the next 10 years, they're predicting here somewhere around 40 gigawatts of storage, delivering roughly about over 400 gigawatt hours of storage capacity. So that implies, if you do the math on that, about 6 hours of storage over the next 10 years, meaning in terms of average storage duration. So I think a great opportunity. And as you mentioned, we're here meeting, as we had announced, an MOU with CNTPC. We also had prior announced gravity energy storage with Tata Power, and we met with them today and are seeing many of the largest companies here in India, given our strategic focus here.
My final question, Robert, I would also like to understand the affordability and the kind of investments that you're looking at from the Indian markets.
for us, the market here in India screams for gravity energy storage. And why do I say gravity energy storage? It really starts with cost and economics. And I've been in India in 3 different industries before, in telecommunications and healthcare. So one of the things you know about delivering and offering solutions in India is you better be a low-cost provider. And a lot of that means building local in India. And if you look at our gravity energy storage, Manisha, it can be 100% made here. You don't have to go buy lithium ion from China or other places in the world for storage. You can make our gravity energy storage here. Therefore, the economics are good. It's also sustainable, meaning our gravity energy storage is lifting and lowering these massive blocks that are 25 metric tons each. But those blocks are not made of concrete. They can be made of soil. But not only soil, they can be made from waste materials as well, like coal ash, for example, which is abundant here because of the coal plants. And any waste material, concrete debris, the wind blade, fiberglass from the large wind turbines here. And we also have a way to make our this gravity energy storage, unlike pumped hydro. You can build it pretty much anywhere you can build a building. And we have other applications of our gravity energy storage that can take advantage of existing slopes and topology here. So we've had tremendous meetings here and interest because of the nature of the economics, the sustainability, the scalability, and just the overall, the overall local domestic way you can build our gravity energy storage without relying on anything outside of India.
All right. Thanks a lot for that. And thanks to Manisha as well for taking the conversation forward. We will take a short break on that note. But on the other side of the break, we'll talk about the markets, which has come under some